Hello everyone, hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over Rust Never Sleeps by Neil Young. Now, I couldn't believe that I'd never done a review of this album before. This is a suggested review. Somebody asked me, he said, have you listened to this album before? I think you might like it based on what you've reviewed in the past. And this is one of the greatest albums of all time, and one of my most played records. I've had this now for 2 years, since 2019, and I adore it. And I can honestly say, 40 seconds into this review, if you've never listened to this album before, stop watching me and put this album on, because you will be blown away. I'm not big on Neil Young's solo career. Neil Young's career in general. I have a few of his albums I like, but some of it is not the best, I'll admit. And I've done videos on Neil Young in the past, and I called him American. Neil Young is not American, he's Canadian. Even though I would call this country music, because I would say this is my favourite country album. But that's more based on the lyrical themes, rather than any sort of, rather than the instrumentals, which are very just prog rock and classic rock themed. Anyway, let's get straight into it with The Looks. I love this album cover. I love the big imposing stage, and then I love the futuristic writing of Neil Young and Crazy Horse. We have Rust Never Sleeps in white. That looks so cool. And just the band gear on the back is super cool as well. Great sleeve as well that it came with. Look at that. That is superb. And I'll show you the label, because this is the only Reprise record label like this I have, I believe. I haven't seen another one, unless I'm forgetting, but I believe this is the only one I have. And yeah, there's not much more to see, but it's a really great and imposing album cover. And I love this sleeve with Neil Young and the band. It's just I love it when an album cover does exactly what it says on the tin. You know, it's not all fancy and prancy looking, it's just basic and looks great. So now let's talk about the songs. I don't know why I ended it like that, ignore me, but the songs on this album are superb, and the production is fantastic, because I can't tell whether this is a live album or not. That's how good the production is. I believe some of the songs were recorded live, and then Neil Young did bits in the studio which he added to the songs. That might be wrong, but I swear I read somewhere that's what happened. So the album starts with My My Hey Hey Out of the Blue, which is a folksy, more acoustic version of the closing track, Hey Hey My My Into the Black. So they're sort of contrasting songs. The lyrics are swapped round. But for My My Hey Hey Out of the Blue, it's very folksy, some light guitar, fantastic vocals from Neil Young, and I love the lyrics, Is this a story of Johnny Rotten? That's my Neil Young impression. But then, so for the starting song, he's singing Out of the Blue Into the Black. And in the closing track, he's singing Into the Black, Out of the Blue, I believe. Which it's such a great way to bookmark your album. Amazing song. So, the first, full song is Thrasher, which is such a stunning song. I love the guitar, I love his vocals, but the lyrics for me across this whole album are fantastic. And I love the story tales about having to travel. It sounds like Lewis and Clark, who ventured out west. I believe Lewis and Clark were trying to find the West Coast, were they not? Or my history's off, but it sounds like a story from back when, the American frontier, and Americans didn't fully understand the continent they were on. And it's such a cool song. And I love the lyrics and the parallels about having to leave your friends behind because they're just too heavy to carry around. and things like that. It's a superb song. Ride My Llama has a really, really great guitar riff to it. Do-do-do-do-do, ba-dum-bum, do-do-do. It's really catchy. And I love the chorus where Neil Young is in the higher register. I'm gonna ride my lamb from Peru to Texarkana. That's my American accent. Pocahontas is an amazing song, where Neil Young portrays the story of Pocahontas and someone called Marlon Brando, which I'll admit, I had to Google who Marlon Brando was. He's a famous American actor who did a bunch of country films, but I think he did all sorts. But amazing, amazing song. And again, Neil Young's vocals are superb, and a lot of the songs on this album will have crowd cheering, and it sounds like a live song, but it also sounds like a studio song. And I'm not sure how they did that, but it sounds great. We Can Sail Away is a great song and a great closing track. Again, the lyrics are superb. And then side 2 starts with my favourite song on the album, Powderfinger, which sounds like it's in the vein of a Native American who is finding these Americans encroaching on their territory. And then, he sings about, or the lyrics are saying, my daddy gave me a gun, and these Americans have shown up in my land, and I've started shooting them. And then you have to run away because they come with their big steamboats with guns. And he tells a story of, the unfortunate, I believe it's called the Trail of Tears. I'm not going to get into it. I don't think it's called that. It might be. But you can look it up, and I'm not going to get into it, but it's not nice. But it's a beautiful song. Welfare Mothers, which I will admit that this is where the lyrics start to take a bit of a dip. But it's still a great song. I love the guitar, and I love the way he picks up the pace a bit. It's a bit more hard rock, as well as Sedan Delivery, which again is a superb song. It's a lot more heavy rock. He really brings up that tempo. And then it closes with Hey Hey My My, Into the Black, which we've already spoken about. Amazing song. One of the greatest rock songs of all time. It's just such a superb album. So, in conclusion, this is the perfect country, folksy, road trip album. Absolutely superb. This is a 9 out of 10. This is almost perfect. Well, it is perfect, but it's just, I love, again, the production. Produced by Neil Young, David Briggs, and Tim Mulligan. Amazing. So, I've listened to a bunch of Neil Young's solo stuff, and I found that he does solo stuff on his own, just Neil Young, and then he will team up with Crazy Horse for some of his albums. And when he teams up with Crazy Horse, the albums tend to be a bit more experimental, or a bit more, there's more to them than his solo stuff on his own. And they released, I believe it's 2019, he did an album with Crazy Horse called Colorado, which is really good. But yeah, this is amazing, so definitely go check this out if you haven't, because I would really recommend it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Take care, everyone. That was weird.